Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Luca for anyone that is new here. Today we'll be making our very own hair clay. We'll be covering what it is you need, the step-by-step DIY process, and how you can cater it to your own hair needs. First and foremost, you'll need a scale to accurately measure out your ingredients. You'll need a double boiler, a standard one will work. One that you would melt chocolate in would be fine. You'll need a mixing bowl to mix your ingredients, and you'll also need a container of some sort to hold the hair clay once we have finished. I'll be using an old claymation tub to store my clay in. In terms of ingredients, you'll need 5 grams of shea butter, 25 grams of natural coconut oil. You'll need some sort of clay. For this video, I'll be using Kaolin and Bentonite. You can use either or, you can use both of them. And I'll be using 40 grams of Kaolin clay and 10 grams of Bentonite. And last but not least, I'll be using 10 grams of beeswax. You definitely can get away without using beeswax, so it is fairly optional. So moving on to part 2, the step-by-step process of making your hair clay. Step 1 is to measure out your ingredients, measure out your clays, measure out your coconut oil, your shea butter, set up all your equipment. Step 2 is to place your coconut oil, your shea butter, and your beeswax if you're using it into your double boiler and gradually melt them down. You might want to apply any essential oils you have lying around for potentially added benefits, or if you want to add a scent to your product. Once your oils have melted down, you want to pour them over your clays in a mixing bowl. Again, I'll be using 30 grams of Kaolin clay at this point and 10 grams of Bentonite. So in total we have 40 grams of clay. So if you're only using one type of clay, that's how much you want to be using. Mix the two together until they form a clay-like consistency. At this point, I highly suggest you mix in another 10 to 15 grams of clay, whether it's Kaolin or Bentonite, whatever you're using. From doing this DIY several times, whenever I've missed this step, the clay comes out a little too oily, or it gives my hair too much of a shine, and we don't want that. We want a standard hair clay, one that we can use on a regular basis to give us a natural look. And once it is all fully mixed together, you want to place your clay into whatever container you're using and leave it to set for at least 12 to 24 hours. Depending on what hair type you have, you can feel free to customize it. For thinner and finer hair types, I suggest opting out of using the beeswax because that really gives the clay some grippiness, and you'll find without it, it'll be a lot easier to apply in your hair. And for those thicker hair types, I suggest just following what it is I've done here. But what's most important is that this is totally open for exploration. There's only several ingredients, so you can add more, take some out. That is the whole fun of it. At the end of the day, you just make something up and see how it turns out. So it's the day after, and this is our finished product. I'm gonna get my hair pre-styled, and then I will demonstrate how I use this and how it looks. So I'm gonna go in with a little less than a fingertip sized amount. You might find the texture of it's a bit bitty, but once you rub it in between the hands, it goes to a clay-like form. It isn't like the easiest to apply. There is a slight bit of pull, but all in all it goes into the hair really well. You can like almost immediately notice the hold that it gives. Because it has quite a natural shine to it, it gives it a really nice texture as well. So I think this demonstrates the DIY hair clay pretty well. It is a really cool thing to be able to do because it's yours, like, and there's a good feeling about it, knowing that you're styling your hair with something that you've made. Go give it a go, style your hair with it, tag me in some posts on Instagram. I'd love to see how you guys get on. So that is all for this week's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Again, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. There is a lot more content like this coming out, so be sure to stay tuned. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, or if it's something that you're gonna try yourself, and please tag me in some posts on Instagram if you do try this. I'd love to see how your hair turns out, how your clay turned out. All ingredients, all products will be linked in the description. Until then, I will see you all in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye bye.